the Blue Crabs in the money line last night. We'll take a quick look at them. 6-6 season series. Won't talk too much. Again, they got pretty much their own podcast before I lost the power last night. So let's jump into the series we got interrupted talking about. That's Montreal and Galveston. Josh did get some coverage last night as well, so I won't talk too much about his team, but congratulations again to Josh in breaking that 20-year curse for the machine and getting them back in the playoffs. Definitely super happy to see that for him. And his gift, he is the weakest seed to host here in the wild card, the 4 seed. He's going to get the 5 seed Galveston. Galveston had another great season, 96 and 66. This team has been sneaky good over the last few seasons. Meet the team here. Missed the playoffs last year with 89 wins, if you recall, after making some big moves at the trade deadline. And one-upped it this year, 96 wins. Keep me out now, he says. Jeremy looking to break that 2-team juggernaut at the top in terms of Rochester and Denver. He's done a pretty good job this year. Let's see if he can carry it into the playoffs. He's got a great team. Let's take a look. Offense and pitching, both sides of the ball, just a very strong team. He's got power, 6th in home runs, with a lot of guys that can knock it out of the park. 2nd in starters ERA, 2nd in bullpen, 1st in FIP, 1st in pitcher WAR. So the only kind of blemish here is the defense. As you can see, the offense again is top 3 in pretty much every category in the Ice Conference. So very dangerous team. Let's see what they can do in the postseason. Again, just taking a look. Lost in the wild card series in a 7-game series 2 seasons ago. Didn't make it after having a great season last year, and they've improved themselves again. They've got the newcomer Montreal, so I would say Galveston is the favorite in this series. Next series up, Las Vegas and Denver. Look at the playoff tree. I'm trying to think. Denver was the 3 seed, so Las Vegas is the 6 seed. Division rivals. Jay, of course, everybody knows the track record of Denver. He has been to the finals, to the conference championship, won multiple championships. He's been in the picture for the last decade. Definitely one of the 2 franchises to beat as we go into the 2030 playoffs. Las Vegas did have his number this year, just barely 7-5 series advantage. Let's see if that carries over for Eric's squad as we get to the postseason. Diving in real quick, let's take a look at who did what for these teams. Denver. Not the same juggernaut season we've always seen from them, but really the story of this team is the starting pitching. Denver's Dustin Potter, who we got in the trade from Boston a few seasons ago, has been spectacular. It's crazy. We didn't know if this guy would make the transition from relief pitcher to starter, but he absolutely has. He's been fantastic ever since coming over. And of course, Matt Ware as well. This guy has really had a fantastic season. Really, maybe a career season out of nowhere. And let's see if that continues into the playoffs as well. So, starting pitching, the tops there. The offense, some usual suspects, but getting older, of course, made a lot of trade deadline moves. These are all fresh faces still. Cuffy coming over to trade, Everett coming over to trade, probably others. Manny Jimenez there, Marty Evans, I think, as well. Yep, so pretty much this whole lineup acquired about a month and a half, 2 months ago. We'll see how far Jay can run this squad. And then Las Vegas, we know the guy that carries this team. It's Christian Laredo, although finally slowing down. I did see this, if you can call 4 WAR slowing down. 3.7 WAR this season. The greatest of all time. He's number 1, number 2, number 3 in most statistical categories. 24 homers this year. Jason Archibald had a great season here for Las Vegas. Pretty much a rookie season, so let's see if he wins Rookie of the Year. 4.7 WAR for the third baseman. And Arturo Molina hitting cleanup, the big trade deadline acquisition from Galveston. So we've got this from a division rival who's ahead of them in the standings. Let's see what he can do. And taking a look at the last matchup here. We've got the Black Sox and the North Stars. Chicago sneaking into the playoffs by 1 game over the Cincinnati Regents after kind of a disappointing end of the season. Quick look, 11-15 September and then a 4-4 October, so sliding a little bit, but let's see if they've recovered enough to take on the defending champs, Rochester, who've won 3 of the last 4 titles. Looking at the season series here, looks like Rochester did win that 3-1. Had a great season from Wada, who was the international guy on the market. He was a big talk of the offseason. Gave him just $1 million to play this year, but that scales up. I didn't do the player options. That's a good reminder. I need to do this, but this gentleman is going to get paid more and more, and he had an okay season, 1.7 more, 36 home runs, some big time power there. Really, this team, kind of a mid-range team, and they haven't had a lot of luck in the postseason. So let's see if they can get out of the wild card series this year. It's going to be an upward battle for the Black Sox. And then looking at the defending champions and the champions 3 of the last 4 seasons, Rochester, another super strong squad here. Up and down the lineup, pretty much the best offense in the Ice Conference in a lot of categories. And a good enough pitching staff with the offense. Vince Hernandez, the ex-Black Sox, right? Is that right? Yeah, the ex-Black Sox, Vince Hernandez, raking and has been really, really, really good ever since putting this uniform on, hitting cleanup, and then up and down the lineup, like Lyle Egner gets talked about all the time. He's been a beast. This is a tough team to beat, and it's going to take a strong effort to knock them out here in the wild card series and in the playoffs in general. So we'll see how that ends up. Moving over to the Fire Conference. In a second. All right, moving on to the Fire Conference, we've got the Seals back in the postseason for the first time in a couple years. We'll look at that in a second. Going against Milwaukee, who was the top team in the Fire this year from almost start to finish, I want to say. 100-win season for the Mobsters. Let's take a look at these two teams. Surprisingly, the Seals winning the season series 3-1, although that's a very small sample size across the two divisions. Moises Aguilar in the cleanup spot, 39 homers, 103 RBIs this year, had a great season. And this offense, we've talked about in the past, before Ryan's time, this was a championship organization through pitching. Really, really great pitching had won the championships. Now it looks like the offense is the top of the Fire Conference. The pitching is also pretty good, especially the starters and the defense as well. This is as complete a team as we've seen on the field from the Mobsters here in the last couple seasons. And just looking at their results, lost in the wild card, lost in the divisional championship, so they are certainly expecting much better from that this season. Looking over at the Seals, getting into the playoffs, kind of an up and down season, but always playoff bound. They struggled down the stretch, but enough to get in. 84 and 78, just over 500. They've got some power in the middle of the lineup, and they've got one of the best bats young bats in the future of the TBL here. Trey Wood, this guy has ridiculous bars, and I think we're only going to see better and better offense from this guy moving forward. Jose Marulanda, big signing, didn't have a great season, but 33 home runs backing up Trey Wood. And yeah, just enough to get it done and get into the postseason. The Seals haven't been here for a minute. The last 3 seasons have been pretty miserable. Let's take a look at their history real quick to see how long it's been. I'm not sure. 2024, the last time we saw the San Diego Seals in the postseason, so a 6-year drought. And they're going to test their luck against the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed, Phoenix, is going to host the GM-less Virginia, although I did just find a GM. He hasn't joined yet, but we are back to full. But this was a 2-2 split in the regular season, and Phoenix has been really good. Won the division, the Ruby division, as a runaway team here, and it's really the rotation that has been fantastic over the last few years. They continue to be good this year, runs against overall the pitching staff first in the Fire Conference. The defense is above average. The offense is average for sure. That's where, it's going to be a question of if they show up or not. They've got some great pieces, Brad Batiste, Jose Zavala. But yeah, we'll see how this team can do. I think it's like the 4th or 5th straight season now that Phoenix has been in the postseason, so they've established themselves here as a regular. Lost in the conference championship last year. Let's see if they can take that next step with probably the best team they've put on the field in a long time. Well, at least since 2028, same record, right? So the 3-6 matchup, I think this is the 3-6. Let's take a look at the standings again. Looks like this is the 3-6. So, Huron hosting Mexico City. And Mexico City, let's start there. We haven't seen Mexico City in the postseason for a long time. Happy to see them back 85 and 77, and they had a really nice stretch of the season. If you look after the All-Star break, I mean, this was a team that was pretty much floundering for the first 4 months of the season, and then ripped off a fantastic August, fantastic September, fantastic October. So this is a team to look out for. I know Larry was a bit degrading in general chat and thought he was going to be one and done, but I think they got a real chance. Let's take a look at the team here. 40 home runs from Fernando Lopez. And just a quick reminder, this is a hitter's park big time. So let's see what the offense does here in the playoffs. But 40 home runs from Fernando Lopez. Dave Henson looks like a really nice hitter who's not even fully developed yet. I think this is a scary team. He's got my ex-paddler here, Edigio Marinelli, now 35, but still getting it done. So I like the offense. They were pretty much, bottom quarter of the Fire Conference in offense. They really weren't statistically ranked high anywhere except for runs against and starters ERA. So it's the starting pitching that's carried them this year. Danny Kuntz, Santiago, Condi. Let's see if they can continue it up into the postseason. Those are pretty impressive ERAs. You have to think about it for the park that we just reviewed with such great hitters bars to have just over 3 ERAs. That's some pretty good run prevention. Mexico City, of course, going up against the Herons. And the Herons' 3rd straight year in the postseason, divisional championship loss, wildcard loss last year. Wanting to take the next step for sure, this franchise. Manny Pineda, Dan Boyd right in the middle of the lineup, both strong bats. Of course, they are suffering the injury to their ace, Nick Agins, but he is back in 1 day, so it looks like he is plugged into that lineup at some point here in the series. And yeah, this is a good team. They've got a good offense overall, up and down. They're strong. Their 3 through 7 is all pretty strong. And the pitching is good as well. The bullpen is especially good, first in the Fire Conference. And looking down at the defense as well, best efficiency, best zone rating as well. So this team's got a lot of good things going for it. Let's see if they can turn it into playoff magic. Looking at the back end again, Mofat, Santamaro, Miller have all been lights out this year. and it extends deeper than that as well. So let's see if they can sustain in, really strong offensive park. Although they do get to host as the home team, they don't have to face Mexico City too many games on the road. Anyways, last series here, OKC and Bighorn. Reese is going to face Johnny, and a lot of interdivisional matchups here on the Fire Conference side. Let's take a look at these teams. I think OKC's been out for a minute. They feel like they're in every other year. It's like one of those teams. It's been 2 years, a 3-year gap since we've last seen the Outlaws in the postseason, and they're back with an 87-win team again. Lost in the wild card series a couple seasons ago. Let's see who they've got on their roster carrying them this year. Jeremy Porton in his sophomore year. This guy looks like he's going to be a stud. I haven't really checked him. Pretty good WAR here. Do we have Pedro Hernandez? I'm not familiar with a lot of guys in this team. I got to look at them more often. David Ramirez. I think we've had like a handful of David Ramirez's in this league. We need some more names. Anyways, this looks like a pretty good team. I know Alex Garcia is really the story of the pitching staff. 19 wins this season. Has been really lights out. And yeah, the offense has been good. Second across the board in most offensive categories. The defense looks like a liability. Let's see what wins out here. And the Rams, they've been in the postseason a lot. Just kind of looking at the last decade here, only one miss. So this is one of the weaker teams they've sent in the last couple of seasons. It didn't breach the 90-win mark this year, but let's take a look at the roster. They are sitting here in a good position. I'm gonna have to fill this in. I forgot to do the commission announcements, but yeah, Steve Schwartz right at the top. We know that name. Bill Raymond, of course, MVP possibly of the league. Always a perennial threat to be MVPs. Maybe the marquee bat right now. That's under 30. Ojeda came over from Tampa in a trade. This is a super dangerous offense. And then on the pitching side, they're pretty good as well. So, yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Let's break down of everybody. I'm going to fix Bighorn's roster real quick, and then we'll jump into games 1 through 4 in about 2 or 3 minutes. right. Let's hop right into it. Looks like I messed up the timings here, so we're going to have a split here. I'll fix them after game 1. But the Ice Conference games are going here. Somerville getting 5 runs in the first inning off Baltimore, and then Baltimore getting 1 back in the bottom of the first. 5-1 in that game early. Chicago and Rochester 2-2 in the second. Chicago got out to a 2-0 lead on a pair of solo home runs, with Lyle Egner ties it up with a 2-run double. Las Vegas up 1-0 in the first. Molina doubles in Arsvald. Galveston striking first over Montreal. Ellenberg singles in Veris. Meanwhile, the money line going crazy on offense. 8-1 in the third. Butterfield solo home run. Eli Jones doubles in 2 more. He's got 4 RBIs on 2 doubles in the game. Huron strikes first. 1-0 on a Manny Pineda home run. Rochester takes the lead on an Alex Rojo triple, and then extends it with a Egner 2-run homer and a Reiser solo home run. 6-2 in that game. And Galveston gets a pair of 2-run home runs. Fitzgerald and Reiser make it 5-0. Meanwhile, Ramiro Ortiz grand slam in the first inning, and they're up 4-0 on San Diego quickly. Denver ties it up in Las Vegas. Arturo Ponce solo home run makes it 1-1. Phoenix on the board first against Virginia. 2-0 Manny Garcia with a 2-run homer. Zavala 2-run homer doubles the lead for Phoenix. It's 4-0. And Baltimore gets a couple back. It's 8-3 now on a Jorge Solo 2-run home run. Seals get a run on a bases loaded walk. Bernal drives in Marulanda. And the Rams strike first against the Outlaws. Cody Werner doubles in Ferguson and Huckfelt. 2-0 in that game. Probably just going to sit back here. I don't think I'm going to try to call all these scores here. So as we get towards the finish line of any of these, I'll pick it back up. Arturo Ponce strikes out looking in the ninth with 2 on, and we're going in the extras in Denver 1-1. Bases loaded, 2 down for the Machine in the bottom of the ninth, down by 3. And the Gremlins get out of it. Galveston wins game 1, 5-2 on the road. Denver at first and third, nobody out in the 10th inning, and Las Vegas gets out of it. We're going to the 11th in that one. The Seals, which were down by 4 after the first inning grand slam by the Mobsters, now up 6-4. Chuchiro Doi hits a 3-run homer in the 7th inning. Edigio Marinelli hits a solo home run, and then Mario Rivera hits a solo home run, and in the 8th inning, Mexico City takes the lead over the Herons 4-3. And Denver in the 11th inning walks it off. Rich Reinhardt's solo home run, 2-1 Dynamite. Over the High Rollers. 9th inning, OKC trying to get back in it, and they do! Jeremy Porton 2-run homer, Ernie Huth solo home run, and no one's out still in the 9th inning. For OKC, they erase a 3-run deficit. Somerville wins game 1 on the road 9-6. Baltimore put up some offense, but Somerville just too much early on, and they take game 1 on the road. Rochester wins game 1 8-4 at home over Chicago. Last chance for the Herons, down 4-3 in the 9th inning. And that'll do it. The Luchadores get game 1, 4-3. Bases loaded for the Rams, and Bill Raymond walks it off in the 10th inning, 5-4. So they survive a 9th inning collapse, and the Rams win game 1. And it is a final in Milwaukee. The Seals win 6-4 on the road, come from behind after a 4-run deficit in the first. I am going to fix the times of these games real quick so I don't have to scroll up and down. And then we'll pick up with game 2. All right, one game in the bag. Here we go, game 2. Jeremy Porton with a grand slam in the 5th for the Outlaws. The young Porton having a nice series with 2 home runs so far. Lots going off here. 7th inning, 2-2 in Baltimore. 4-3 Milwaukee over San Diego. Denver with a 4-3 lead in the 5th. That game dragging behind just a little bit. And OKC up 6-3 on the road, trying to even that series. The other 4 games a little further behind. We'll check in on those in a second. 4-4 now. Craig Turkios ties it up with a solo home run. Milwaukee now threatening in the other half, and they threaten and they come through. Danny Guzman's 3-run home run. 7-4. The Mobsters back in control. Fabio Cardia doubles for Baltimore. They're trying to push ahead. The go-ahead run, they do. Cardia doubles in Gonzalez. I missed it. So 3-2. Scoreless in the 4th in Rochester. Galveston up 2-0 on the road in the 5th. That game moving quickly. The game in Mexico City and Huron moving quickly. That's 1-0 in the 5th. Mexico City has the lead on a Dave Henson solo home run, so he's been big with the long ball here early in the series. Galveston, let's see how they get there too. Ashton Turner driving in both runs. And Virginia up 4-1 on the road against Phoenix. They have no GM, so who the fuck cares? Go Phoenix. Ninth inning, last chance for Somerville. They did get one on the road already. Baltimore looking to push that split as they turn the series back. By the way, what are the thoughts on a, what do we do, 2-3-2 here? What are the thoughts on doing 2-2-1-1-1 series? Rams, bases loaded, down by 3, nobody out in the 8th inning. Can they get the big hit? They get a big hit. Josh Ferguson drives in 2, 6-5, second and third, nobody out. And Somerville ties the game. Eli Jones, solo homer in the 9th, 3-3. Meanwhile, in the 5th inning, Rochester breaks a scoreless tie. Kevin Wiesner, 3-run double. It's 3-0 in that game. OKC gets out of the jam. Second and third, nobody out. And they retain a 1-run lead as we go to the 9th inning. Las Vegas ties it in the 8th. Jose Chavarria, solo home run. 4-4 in that game. In Baltimore, trying to end it 1st and 3rd. 1 out. Barboza strikes out. Sukan at the plate. Full count. He is out. He strikes out. Into extra innings we go there. 2-run homer for Wada gets Chicago a little closer. It's 3-2 in that game. In Montreal on the board now, down 2-1. Sagaguchi doubles in Solis. Matthew Barlage gives the Dynamite the lead, 5-4 in the 8th inning. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Meanwhile, 2 runs for the Black Sox, and they all of a sudden have a lead on Rochester in the 6th inning. Somerville takes the lead in the 10th. Todd Taylor doubles in Lopez. It's 4-3 in that game. Are they going to steal another one from Baltimore on the road? They do. Somerville up 2-0 in the series now and headed back home. Billy Cover walks with the bases loaded. That ties that game in the 6th inning, 1-1. Rochester ties it up. Tim Liddick solo home run. It's 4-4 in the 6th inning. And we've got close games all across the board here in the second set. Noah Williams, solo home run in the 7th inning, and Chicago back up on top, followed by a Jeremy Albrecht solo home run. 3 long balls in the game for Chicago. It's 6-4 in the 7th. Montreal's got 6 outs left to try to mount a comeback here. They've been pretty quiet in the postseason. Obviously, the injuries, a big deal for the machine. John Morales, 1 out single in the 8th inning. 1st and 3rd now, Sakaguchi. Let's see if Salvucci can come through. He does. He ties the game. Doubles in Morales, 2-2. Bases loaded now, 1 out for the machine. It's almost like I talked this into fruition here. Bill Ryder, sacrifice fly, and Montreal's on top. 3-2. Make it 4-2. Chris Bethea singles in Salvucci. Last chance for Phoenix, tying run at the plate. Billy Nesbitt singles. It's going to be pinch hitter Enriquez. Excuse me. Ugh. That'll do it. Virginia gets game 2. They even the series. Denver hangs on for the 5-4 win. I missed it quietly. They take a 2-0 series lead, winning both home games. We're headed to Las Vegas for game number 3. Mexico City threatening to break the 1-1 deadlock in the 9th, but Justin Gagliardi flies out. Bottom half we go. Grand slam for Galveston in the 9th inning. What just happened? Montreal takes the 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Galveston responds by hitting a grand slam in the 9th inning. 6-4, they're on top. And threatening to steal both games on the road. MVP, Ashton Turner, give me a break. What a monster home run. And the Machine are going to have to wait for that first postseason win if it's going to come here in 2030. Let's speed this up just a little bit. 6-4, last chance for Rochester. Lytic singles, Smith pops out. And Teams is retired. So Chicago wins game 2 on the road. That's a 1-1 series. And 1 game left to decide. Mexico City's already stolen game 1 on the road. Herons trying to walk it off here in extras in game 2. 1st and 2nd, 2 out, but Guardado grounds into a fielder's choice. 11th inning we go. And that will do it. Ivan Sanchez singles in roll. And the Herons walk it off in game 2 in the 12th inning. They win 2-1. They tie the series up. Let's take a look at the matchup so far and drop a quick save just in case something crazy happens like last night. Gremlins. Dynamite Moneyline all up 2-0. Gremlins and Moneyline doing it on the road. The rest of the series tied at 1. No games today. We'll skip it over. And on to game 3. Looks like I messed up the Rochester, Chicago time, but that's okay. Dave Henson, third home run of the postseason. It's a big one. 3-run homer over Huron. 4-2. Mexico City up in that game. Look at 4-3. A Bach brings in Albazuras. 5-2. Virginia up on Phoenix. Threatening for more. 6 outs left for the Firebirds. The 2 seed in trouble right now in the Fire Conference. And Rochester up 2-1 in the 5th inning over Chicago on the road. Gremlins have just suffocated Montreal most of this series on the pitching side. And on the offensive side, Ashton Turner continues to drive in runs. Doubles in Wilkinson in the 7th. It's 4-1, now 5-1 on a balk as he scores. Las Vegas on the board first against Denver. Christian Laredo sac fly makes it 1-0. And San Diego first to strike against Milwaukee in the 4th inning. Craig Turcios doubles in Withers. Craig Knopfdahl grounds out to drive in Mauro Landa. It's 2-0 there. Got a mystery run in Huron, but then a 5th run gives them the lead in the 8th inning. So late in that game, the Herons take the lead 5-4. Meanwhile, the Rams first to score in the 5th over OKC, now 2-0 as they get singles from Werner and Schwartz. Two-run homer for Wada. He's had a pretty good postseason here so far in 3 games. And Chicago ties it up against Rochester. It's 3-3. First and third, nobody out in the 8th for Montreal, but they are down by 4. A double play drives in a run, but I'm sure he'd like that one back. 7-3. Eighth inning magic for the Herons gets it done. They take the 5-4 victory over Mexico City in Mexico City, and they take a 2-1 series lead. Rochester back out in front in the 7th. Lyle Egner doubles in Wiesner. I think Egner is trying to get himself an MVP award. Seems like he's driven in a lot of runs here. Jesus Espinoza, 2-run homer in the 6th, and that is now a tied game at 2. Not even talking about Baltimore and Somerville. Scoreless, bottom of the 7th right now. Baltimore 3 hits, Somerville 1 hit. Westbrook has pitched brilliantly, but so has Billy Perez on the other side. The Black Sox tied up 4-4 in the 7th. Ethan Manahem doubles in Albrecht. It's a final in Galveston, 7-3 over Montreal, and they're on their way to a sweep if they can get a Game 4 victory. 3-0 series lead. Jacob Sheets doubles in the 6th. That gives the High Rollers a 2-run lead over Denver. In the 7th, Milwaukee steps in front. Paul Stepp, solo home run. Bases loaded, 2 out, down by 3. Ernie Hughes comes in to pinch hit for OKC, but he strikes out swinging, and the Rams retain a 3-run lead as we go to the 8th inning in that game. Bottom of the ninth, we are in Somerville, scoreless. It's the bullpens on both sides now as the starters long gone, both removed in the seventh. Trey Wood, two-run homer. The superstar young bat for the Seals gives the Seals the lead in the seventh inning. It's now 4-3. And Jordan Padilla triples in Ferguson. The Rams get an insurance run late in that game, make it 2. Werner singles in Padilla. It's 5-0, and they are on their way to what's likely a 2-1 series lead. 6 outs left for the Dynamite down in Las Vegas. It's a 2-0 game. Both sides have 7 hits, but a low-scoring affair. And we're in extra innings now in Chicago. It's 4-4. Chicago trying to get up on the Rochester North Stars 2-1 here, the defending champions. And that'll do it in the 10th inning. Katsutoshi Wada doubles in Medahem. Chicago takes it 5-4. They're up 2-1 in the series now over Rochester. Shujiro Doi singled in 2 for San Diego. I missed that, and that's some big insurance. They're up by 3. Last out for the Mobsters. It looks like the Seals are going to have a 2-1 series lead. Bases loaded for OKC in the ninth, down by 5. Last out for Denver here in Game 3. Ernie Hughes gets 1. It's 5-1, so tying runs coming to the plate in Reed, the DH for the Outlaws. Let's see if he can do anything. And that'll do it. Rams win. They take a 2-1 series lead. And we'll speed this up to 40 because I know Steve would want it that way. We'll see what happens here with Baltimore and Somerville. And that'll do it. Somerville walks it off. Antonio Reyna, the superstar, the future Hall of Famer, has a moment, and he puts the money line up 3-0 in the series. We'll finish today. And right into Game 4. Let's do it. Steve Kuznicki injury, that's not good. Back here, we're in the 8th inning already. Denver up 2-1 on Las Vegas, trying to take a commanding 3-1 series lead. San Diego up 3-0 at home, also trying to take a 3-0 series lead, blanking Milwaukee right now. Alex Guerra, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits. Meanwhile, the Rams up 3-0 on OKC. They've also been, pretty well in control of that series. Jonathan Cooper's pitched pretty well for OKC, but the Rams staff have put together a better performance. Somerville up 6-1 on Baltimore, trying to put away the number 2 seed quickly. Meanwhile, that's crazy. Late window. It's already 7-0. Mexico City up on Huron. In this game, a bunch of offense. Phoenix up 4-0 on the road, trying to even the series against the wayward Virginia. And Rochester up 2-0 early in that game. Looks like maybe some kind of delay because it's really far behind. Is Montreal going to get a win up 1-0 in the 5th? These games are that close except for the Denver game, so let's just keep it up here at 40. Two-run homer for Wilkinson in the 5th, and Galveston takes the lead in that series, in that game, 2-1, trying to sweep the series. San Diego gets the shutout, and again now up 3-1 on the number 1 seed in the Fire Conference. Denver hangs on for the 2-1 win. They also have a 3-1 series lead. Make that 3-1 series lead. The Rams with a 4-0 blanking of the Outlaws. Two-run homer for Tony Mendiola, and Chicago ties it in the 5th, 2-2. It's the only competitive game right now. Well, I guess now Virginia is slightly competitive. Mesa doubles in 2. It's a 3-run game in the 8th. Two-run single. Mike Schumett drives in Hernandez and Liddick. It's 4-2. Rochester back in front, make it 5-2 on a Rojo single. North Stars are going to roll on. 7-2 now. Just one hit for Chicago. Ninth inning for the Herons, down by 3. Mexico City looking to tie this series up at 2. And that will do what they do. So 2-2 series. Phoenix absolutely unloading offensively. And that'll do it for Montreal. They have been swept out of the 2030 playoffs by Galveston. Jeremy will advance to the Divisional Championship Series. Josh back to the drawing board, but again, great season and super happy to see Montreal back in the playoffs. Hopefully we'll see them in again as we transition out of the park 2027. Meanwhile, Somerville shuts down Baltimore in 4 games. They get the sweep, so the 7 seed knocks off the 2 seed in dominating fashion, and the money line and JR will advance. Steve will go home. Phoenix ties the series at 2, 11-7. Just the 1 game left here. Rochester looking to tie the series up. We're in the 9th. Chicago down by 3. Down by 5. Vince Hernandez, 2-run home run. He says, hey, shouldn't have let me go. And Mike's like, hey, I didn't want to. I wanted to pay you, but I couldn't. Well, that's how it works out. Rochester, 9-4. The champs tie it up 2-2. Let's take a look at the playoff coverage. Seven seed advances. The 5 seed advances. So 2 quote-unquote underdogs. I'll drop the file. If I hear from everybody by tonight, we can finish this up tonight. If not, we're going to run this tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'll put it in the commission announcements, but whether I hear from everybody or not, we will wrap this up tomorrow at 10, or if I sleep in, 11 a.m. So 10 to 11 a.m. we'll pick this up, if not tonight.